The showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as we celebrate the latest edition of the Pro Bowl. The stars of the AFC and NFC are ready to shine. Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, it's the penultimate game of the NFL calendar, AFC versus NFC in the NFL Pro Bowl game between our visitors. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Get ready to settle in for an entertaining 4 quarters. The AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway from Las Vegas. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. Bringing him out is the future Hall of Famer, now in his 18th NFL season, Aaron Rodgers.
And no doubt about it, it was a banner year for quarterbacks in the NFC. A number of guys could very well have been selected for this. But I thought he stood out. I thought he found a way to separate himself from the pack. And he's been rewarded as the starting quarterback in the Pro Bowl. Definitely the right choice in my book.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Right to the air is Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end Tunyon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice game.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. He'll get it across midfield down to the 49.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Play action supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Second down, another run with Taylor. Dodges him at the 50. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mahomes now on first down. Pushes him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the 45 on second down, Mahomes. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Flushed, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They give to Taylor out of the gun. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Now Mahomes. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, he might be the best kicker the game's ever seen, and we've seen him hit from 66, which is the all-time record. But anything 60-plus, that's a very low percentage kick. Don't tell him he doesn't believe it, but this one winds up no good.
So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, you know, we talk about these defensive backs during the season that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 AFC. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with this deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Finding space at the 40. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Rodgers now to throw. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the AFC.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this one is incomplete. Prater's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's able to get up here to the 26. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The AFC with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards that time for number 14. And defensively, they were in zone covers there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Taylor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Back to Taylor on first down. Taken down at the 47-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's Mahomes. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running straight ahead, Taylor. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5 now. Mahomes. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Another targeting catch for Robert Woods. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 5-yard touchdown run. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Tucker now to add the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense for the NFC back out there. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and an AFC touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they went standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run. It's Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers going to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. On 1st down, Rodgers. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studio. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And that's picked up by the AFC. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 64 yards rushing for him now in this first half of the Pro Bowl.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Here now the NFC to take over on offense. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The AFC going to get the football here late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Woods. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The AFC offense now set to start this 3rd quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught. It's Woods. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this third quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Rodgers will throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The AFC offense making their way back out. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a give to Taylor, and he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he floated one out there, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And the Nfc Punt team out there now, and surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A gain of 6. That's good.
Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he gets it down to the 32. The 71 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And it's caught. touchdown. Pat Fryermuth from 21 yards away. And they're able to add on to their advantage. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
32-yard line.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It leads to second.
And again, it's Rodgers. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson.
Complete to T.J. Hockenson. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6. That's the end.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. We're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On play action, now Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Now Rodgers. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Now it's Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Past the 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and an AFC touchdown. This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only do they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And it's great to see the Stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
He'll get this to Lazard, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Rodgers to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. They hold him. A handoff left, Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Elliott. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A pair of first downs gives him a first and 10 up at the 44. They go to Elliott again. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup there.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line bearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 39 yards there, a big one. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is in. Touchdown, NFC. Dak Prescott scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him by the end.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Taking it about the 1. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Prescott looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 yards. That's good for an NFC first down.
Prescott on first down. And that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And this offense on third down today, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is third down and 12. Prescott yet again. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Prater's kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The AFC set to take over on offense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up second and 7. They run once more with Taylor. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Taylor. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The AFC punt team out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So Dak Prescott in the offense, down by 7, just over 1:40 to play. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it first and 10. On a bad time late for a poor throw, it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. And they will take a knee here. Second and 11. Harris running straight ahead. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.